Alright, what's poppin', y'all? It's Matt. So I'm working on the valves on this Suzuki Vinson. I'm headed to the machine shop right now to get a quote on fixing the valves. I got new valves, and the seats need to be recut a little bit. But if y'all missed out on the previous videos, check out up here, and in the description. I'll link to that so you can get to it if you want to check out the previous video and the video after this. So we're about to head to the machine shop. I got the parts here in the truck with me. I'll give y'all a close-up of that real quick, but I don't know if he's going to let me film. Probably not. It's probably like drop it off type of deal. But let's go head over there and see what's popping. Alright, so I got everything laid out here. I got the head, the old valves, the head cover, the springs, the cam, the bolts, the new valves. If y'all haven't seen these yet, Shindy, made in Japan. I ordered these months ago. Intake and exhaust. And then I got the service literature right there of the specs. So we're going to see what happens. Alright guys, so I'm back from the machine shop. I got the cylinder head done right here. It's next to me, and he said to order new valve springs, and I ordered new keepers while I was at it because it was like 10 bucks. I'm not putting the old ones in there because I had keepers come out on a motor I was working on before, and I'm not playing with that. It was 10 bucks, so I ordered the keepers, ordered new valve springs. It was like 50 extra bucks I didn't want to spend, but he checked the springs on his test thing, and they weren't within spec. So I got new ones. Let's look at the cylinder head right here. Alright, so it's right here. He had to deck the surface because it wasn't flat. He had to recut the valve seats. He had to replace all 4 valve guides. And yeah, it's good now. So I took it to him with new valves, and I was like, just trying to find somebody cheap. Cut the valve seats for me. Well, of course you can't cut the valve seats because if the valve guides are out of spec, then the whole thing's going to wobble around when you try to cut the valve seats, and it's not going to be right. So I said, just fix it right. So I took him the valves and left it with him. He did an awesome job. Pressed out the old valve guides, pressed new ones in. So here's a trick, an awesome trick. Suzuki wanted $26 for OEM valve guides, and that wasn't happening. They're just steel valve guides, cast iron, whatever they're made out of. These were like $5.50 a piece. So what I did was I went on Kibble White's website. I'll post links in the description where y'all can get these exact same valve guides. Basically, Kibble White, they make like a bunch of aftermarket valves, valve guides, all kinds of stuff, seats, out of different materials, silicon bronze, what do they call it, nickel, silicon bronze or whatever, a bunch of crazy stuff. I just wanted the, tried and true OEM, basic steel, last forever type of dealio. So that's why I went with these, but they were only $5 a piece, basically, like $5.50 a piece. So 5, 10, 15, 20 plus shipping, $25, $30 versus $120. And what these are out of is like, it's a huge range. It was like a 1995 to 2019 Suzuki 1300 Gixxer in a motorcycle, street bike. So that's what these are out of. Take note of that. If you're working on a Suzuki four-wheeler, they don't make 1,000 different valve guides. That those will probably work. So I was like, they have technical specifications on the website. So I told him, go ahead, press out the old ones, take the specification on the website, compare it against the old one, and then see if we can make it work. So that's what he did. And he ordered them. It worked great. It might have to be an oversized a little bit. You can get them oversized a couple thousandths or whatever. But they're snug in there. They're good. Everything's good. I'm going to polish up the ports a little bit more here. But that trick, man, I can't believe I found them. It saved me a boatload. Like, it saved me huge, too. So, and they shipped faster, so that was good. But I'm going to shut up here and get this thing done. I already polished up the ports a little bit. Of course, I'm going to leave the intake rougher, but it's already rougher. I polished them up a little bit, but now in the sun, I can see it's not exactly how I want it, so I might touch it up some more, and I might put the old valves in here and yeah, polish this just a little bit more. I don't know, so I'll be back here in a second. Alright guys, so now I got the head all laid out here ready to go back together. So the head's right here, obviously. I'll show you how polished I got the ports on that. I put the studs back in it too. I got my new valve springs here. These are OEM Suzuki valve springs. These are Shindy intake and exhaust valves. Those are brand new. I got new Vestra oil seals right here. And then I have the old retainer things, and I ordered some new keepers because they were like $10. So I figured, why not, right? These are new valve springs because my machinist and I tested the old ones, and they weren't within spec, like I said. So he said, you better go ahead and order new ones, and I did. These were $40, but I got them. They're going in. In case you're wondering, the blue paint on them, that faces towards you. It faces away from the head when you put it back together. And I got the service manual like right here next to me. I'm cheating, but the blue paint goes towards you. And yeah, we just got to put it back together here. I want to show you all of these parts are made in Japan. So the intake and exhaust valves are made in Japan. They're aftermarket, but they're made in Japan. They look really high quality. They're called Shindy. I'll put links in the description. I'll put links in the description to all of this stuff. But they're called Shindy valves. And yeah, they look to be really high quality. So it was like $44 for those, for the intake and exhaust valve, like total for all 4 valves, which is really good. They're stainless valves. They're not titanium. But I just want to show you the packaging for these valve springs. What the heck? I've never seen that before. They're like packaged in this anti-corrosion, anti-rust, like, I don't know. That's crazy. But they really take pride in packaging their stuff. I mean, it's got Japanese all over it. So here's the part numbers. Doesn't really matter. They're the keepers, the new valve springs. And then if y'all missed the other video where I got these in a gasket rebuild kit from Vestra, which are made in Japan. So check out all the links in the description. I'll link y'all up to all these. If you missed the video with those really high quality gasket set I got, then check out up here. I'll link to that video. But let's shut up and put this thing back together. Alright, so I'm trying to keep it all Japanese parts as best as possible. So these are all high quality OEM parts, obviously the best you can get as far as that, you know, for this motor at least. There isn't much aftermarket support, but those valves, made in Japan, the valve guide seals made in Japan, all that stuff's gonna be made in Japan. Everything pretty much is. So I'm not going cheap China, aftermarket parts, but let's put this thing back together. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it without the compressor tool. I got it right next to me, but let's see what happens here. All right, so let's get the seals on first. Okay, so this is how it goes. Just like that with the valve in there. It goes just like that. So I'm going to get all this stuff moved out of the way here, and we're going to get a better shot of this. I wanted to show you all this before, but listen to how tight these valve guides are. Listen how tight that is. That's crazy. All right, so I almost forgot to show y'all what I did to these ports here. I took out that other valve there, just so y'all could see in there. But I got the exhaust, and this blinding the camera, I know. But I got the exhaust port super duper shiny, mirror finish. And then I got the intake port super duper shiny mirror finish. But then I went back and roughed it up, you know, with some heavy duty sandpaper to get a nice crosshatch going in there to help break up the fuel and stuff. You want the exhaust port as shiny as possible, and then you want the intake port a little bit rough so it helps atomize the fuel and break it up. And this light is doing wonders for my camera here, but you get the gist of it. You can see how shiny the exhaust ports are. And I got all the casting imperfections out of there. It's extremely hard to tell on camera, but this thing looks awesome now. And I made this tool out of a 1/4 inch bolt, and I got in there like that and just got in there to finish it up with that. And I started off with these things right here and got these down in there to get, you know, all the rough casting marks out first. And then I came back with this. So let's get back to putting this thing back together. All right, so I got them all on here. They're not completely locked in. I can tell they're not. So just to be safe, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the tool out and crank them down and make sure that they all fall down in there exactly where they're supposed to be. I'll be back here in a second. You can see it's seated, and it's kind of weird. You gotta get it in there, but you can see, and I'm gonna do this a couple times here. Look down in there. I mean, it's fully seated, so that's not coming apart. Don't just do like I did and leave it like that, because they were just stuck on there. They weren't fully seated, and it'll drop a valve into the motor and completely grenade everything. So it has to be they have to be right. So this is pretty much done at this point. Now we can move on to the next step. Alright, y'all, so that's pretty much it for this part. This cylinder head is pretty much done at this point. So I'm going to post links in the description where y'all can get all the parts I used in this video. If you're interested, check that out. And we're going to have the next part up here soon, which is going to be rebuilding the whole top end. So putting the cylinder jug on, timing the whole thing, you know, putting the cam chain on, the cam chain tensioner, all that fun stuff. It's kind of like one big thing, so it's not going to be split into 1,000 parts because it's, you know, all has to be done to make the whole thing work right. So stay tuned for that part. Make sure you drop a huge thumbs up down below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe down below and hit the little bell so that you get notified when I post the next part of this whole series. Peace.